This week on TGC News, Wilson Combat has a new 9mm, Sig has a new Legion, Beretta brings big value, High Point is High Point, and the last Knob Creek shoot ever. NeoMag has been supporting TGC for years, and I know you guys love what they do. You tell me all the time. Whether it's the classic NeoMag, the Rask, maybe you like the Sentry Strap and Scout Sling, or maybe you like the EDC tray. They make some awesome gear. Now, normally we would tell you about a discount code, but in times like these, NeoMag is putting their money where their mouth is. Here's a message straight from them.
Hey everybody, if you go to our website and you place an order and use code TGC2A, we're gonna donate 10% of that order to the Firearms Policy Coalition.
So we're doing this because we understand exactly how important this fight is. So let's all get together, let's fight for our gun rights.
That's right. Use code TGC2A over at theneomag.com to have 10% of your order donated to Firearms Policy Coalition. Now that is the kind of brand I can get behind. Welcome back to another episode of the Gun Collective News, the only gun news show that covers things you actually care about. My name is Jon Patton. If you're new here, I appreciate you stopping by. Consider getting subscribed to stay up to date on new guns and gun accessory and gun industry news. Now, how about we get to that? Let's kick things off this week with something new from Wilson Combat. It's called the SFX9, and it's another step into the evolution of their brand. For those that are unaware, Wilson Combat is primarily known for super fancy 1911s. A few years ago, they came out with a gun called the EDC X9, which I freaking love. It's a double stack 9mm that has some of the best ergos around. It's really comfortable. It's super easy to shoot. Early in 2020, they released a gun that was the sort of little brother called the EDC X9S. It was slightly different because the grips, instead of being mounted on the outside, were machined into the frame this time around. Oddly enough, somewhere along the line, that gun got renamed. The YouTube video title even differs from the name on the side of the gun in the video. So fast forward to now, and they've created a new category called the SF, which stands for solid frame. And today we have the SFX9 15-round version, which is sort of the big brother to the little brother that already came out and got its name changed. It's a bit confusing, but the basic premise is that we now have a larger version with the grips machined into the frame as part of that solid frame lineup. In terms of specs, it's pretty simple. Like I said, it's a 9mm with 15-round mags, a 3.25-inch barrel. It weighs just under 27 ounces unloaded, and it's just shy of 1.5 inches wide. The slide has a sort of taper heading towards the muzzle, likely to keep the weight and width down. And it's not quite the sort of micro compact size that has been so popular, but it's trying. For reference on the weight, an HK-VP9 weighs in at about 1.5 ounces less than this gun. I suppose the next step is to remind you that Wilson Combat guns are not in the sort of budget category because the MSRP on this thing is $2,895. I can't speak from experience on this particular gun, but I've handled the original EDC X9, and it's fantastic, like I said before. Is it worth the cash? Well, I suppose it's sort of up to the buyer. I am sure that it will shoot really well. That's not a doubt in my mind, but is it better as an option for the money than all of the others available? Really tough to say. I do want to hear from you guys on this one. Is this something that you would consider buying? Perhaps it's a bucket list type gun. Sound off in the comments, and we'll talk about it. Right down there. Clickety click. Do the thingies. Nobody types like that. Next up this week, Sig has yet another new one. I'm not sure exactly how many versions of the P320 exist, but let's add another one to that list with the XCarry Legion version. Essentially, this is a slightly shortened version of the X5 Legion that made waves last year due to its tungsten-infused polymer grip module. That being said, this XCarry version has a 4.6-inch threaded barrel, suppressor height sights, optic cut that kills the rear sight, and a flared magwell. That rear sight you lose if you're using an optic is also an adjustable night sight, which is pretty cool, I guess. Because of its TXG grip module, it tips the scales at 40.5 ounces. That's substantial. They say that this is more of a tactical model, but I'd be curious to know how many tacticians would want the much heavier version of this gun when there are other lighter options that would arguably perform just as well. I guess we shall find out eventually. In my opinion, for a home defense gun or just something fun to shoot at the range, this would be really cool to have. Like, suppressed home defense guns are cool. It could fill those roles really well. And as per usual with SIG announcements, pricing is not mentioned anywhere, so I'm gonna make it up. This P320 XCarry Legion has an MSRP of 100,000 zip ties. Sounds like a lot, but zip ties are cheap, so maybe the exchange rate will be better in the future? I don't know. It's like Bitcoin, but zip ties. I also want to give a shout out to the horribly out of focus videos that SIG releases on a regular basis. You would figure at a company that big, they could afford to film a video twice to get it right. What do I know, though? It's time once again to bust out the minigun because we have more new guns to cover. Izzy, hit it. Smith & Wesson has a new version of their AR called the M&P 15T2. I love it when guns have sequels. The basics are pretty cool. It comes with a Magpul CTR stock out back, a grip that looks like it was stolen from one of their pistols, a flat face trigger of unknown origin, radiant charging handle, ambi safety, 15-inch M-LOK handguard, and Magpul backup sights. Sounds like it's got a decent feature set going for it. MSRP on this one is $13.72. Also in new gun news, Beretta has expanded their A300 line of shotguns with the new A300 Ultima series. Essentially, this is meant to bring features from their higher-end guns, like enlarged controls, what they're calling an improved receiver, whatever that is, and the best part is the kickoff recoil reduction system. The other best part is the pricing on these. The black synthetic version goes for $800. The Mossy Oak Bottomland version goes for $900, and the Max 5 Camo version is the same $900. All of them come in either 12 or 20 gauge. This is tremendous value. I paid, I think it was something like $1,600 for my A400 Extreme, which would be the sort of bigger, nicer brother to these. Now, it's certainly not the same gun at all, but if it's anywhere close, these are going to be fantastic. They're like half the price and have some of the same features. That's great. I'm not sure if it still holds up, but at one point, I called the A400 Extreme one of the best semi-auto shotguns ever made. Something to consider. Moving on from there, High Point, everyone's favorite America brand, has an even more America edition called the Grand Union Flag Series. Long story short, these carbines come in either 9mm or 45 ACP and have the same basic feature set as every other version with the addition of threaded muzzles on both. That's nice. I have no other reason to cover these than to say Happy Independence Day a little bit early. That's really it. It's MSRP on these lands at $422 for the 9 and $453 for the 45. I actually really enjoy cheap guns like this. The Cellmark family of brands offers a huge variety of stuff for the hardcore enthusiast and weekender alike. Whether you need body armor from Bullet Safe, red dot optics from Sightmark for your rifles and pistols, maybe you need a weapon tripod from Kopfjäger, or maybe you're looking for something even more fancy like thermals and night vision from Pulsar. They've got you covered in so many ways. To learn more, check out these brands at retailers everywhere, or hit the links in the description to learn more. And before I forget to mention this, both Browning and Winchester have ammo recalls going on right now. They're basically the same stuff, so I'll say Brinchester or Wowning ammo recall. I'm an idiot. Anyway, they found that certain lots of the ammo contain propellant that doesn't ignite properly, resulting in what's commonly known as a squib, aka a bullet stuck in the barrel. This is super dangerous. No one likes a bore obstruction, especially not your gun. Apparently, this is limited to certain lots of 9mm only. That being said, head over to their websites to see if your ammo is affected. We can't exactly put links because it's an ammo company. We don't want to get brought down by the man, so just go to their website. And rounding us out is a small bit of industry news, this time about one of the most notable shooting events in the world. Yes, in the whole world. The Knob Creek machine gun shoot is coming to an end. The organizer sent out a message to all of the patrons. Half a century. 50 years. Knob Creek machine gun shoot every year, twice a year. Well, except for a flood and a pandemic. We've made many friends, and some have become family. It has become a twice-a-year reunion for many vendors and shooters. Your patronage has been much appreciated over the years. However, old age has crept up on us all. The time has come. October 2021 will be the last machine gun shoot. Hope to see you then. I cannot imagine doing the same thing twice a year for 50 years. I'm not exactly sure why they're calling it quits. They kind of hinted at old age. But I can say that this last event will probably be a special one. I'm actually a bit sad because I've never been to one, and Lord knows if I'm actually going to make it to this one this year. Sucks. I would really like to see that sort of spectacle. For years, I've heard stories and seen so many cool videos coming out of that event, so I'm sure they will give it a fitting send-off. And that is it for this week's show. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to see an ad-free version, check us out on floatplane.com. That'd be rad. And after you click the like button of this video, be sure to hit the secret affiliate link down in the description. Get yourself some coffee. That would be a massive help for us. And of course, don't forget to get subscribed for more gun news every single week. And as always, thank you all for watching. We'll see you soon.
Yep, it's over, but don't worry, you can click on the video up top to watch last week's show, and the one below that is the one that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. Check them out and let me know what you think.